Now, the reason why this collective reading could be an eye opener for a lot of you, and it could be a bit difficult to go through, but yet very helpful, is because in some of your cases, your family, in your mother father relationship, you saw your mother or your father tolerate some kind of business, cheating business, or some kind of bad behavior that the other parent showcased. You saw them tolerate it, you saw them go through it, and you saw them stay with the same person for their whole life. And that wounded you so much that you began to replace people very fast. But the problem was that the energy was still the same. So you got into like multiple relationships, two, three, four, five, 10 maybe. But each time the same kind of situation was repeating. And for some of you people, it's like you love both your parents equally, but both of them are wounded. So, a certain part of your life, you were literally operating from your father energy. So, you were the person who were running away from commitment. And then you got into, let's say, your mother energy, or vice versa. It can be anyone showing this. And then you became the chaser. So, you were the runner, then you became the chaser. And now you've seen both sides, how it feels like to be a runner, an addict, someone who didn't honor the relationships, and then you come on to the other side and you see someone else doing it, you see their addiction pattern. So maybe you were drinking alcohol at a certain life point in your life, let's say when you were a teenager till you were in late 20s, you were drinking on and off, and maybe you didn't care so much about committing in relationships. And after your Kundalini got activated, you changed. You became more spiritual. You started becoming like a different person. But now you're attracting someone who's doing opposite to you, what you don't deserve, you feel. So, as I'm being shown, there are different patterns. You can mention your pattern also in the comment section. So, you being told right now that you need just God, not a man or a woman. You don't want to wait for them. You don't want to play any character right now. You don't want to be your father, you don't want to be your mother. So you've tried both, or maybe you honor the reason why one of your parents chose to stay with the person who reflected bad behavior. Why? Because maybe they realized that changing the person is not going to change the problem. The problem is going to continue. So I need to change myself. So maybe they grieved a lot, maybe they cried a lot. And unfortunately or fortunately, you became the person who saw them crying, who saw them grieving. Maybe they complained a lot to you. Maybe they shared their story with you to a level that they forgot that you're a child. And I'm telling you this thing not so that you get upset with your parents, but once you ascend, you also realize that you need to forgive your parents. You need to let them go. That egotistical personality that you've been holding on to, you need to let it go. Thinking and understanding that they were also programmed and there no other way to experience whatever was happening to them. So maybe when they cried in front of you, let's say your father shared with you how his wife was treating him, that's because he was a hurt, wounded, disturbed man who thought that you could be the one who would understand, or you could be the one they could confide into. They forgot that you're a child, or they had no idea that they were confiding into you. It was just naturally, organically happening. Like the fights were happening in front of you, the drama was happening in front of you, all the turbulence was happening in front of you. So you just indirectly became someone who saw it and got into their energy field, got trapped into their energy field. So now you just want to be with God because your divine counterpart took away your happy place that you'd created with them. A happy, safe place. You thought that all the fun, all the joy, all the good times you spent with them were really special and unique to you. But because of their stupidity, or because of their mistake, or because of their pattern, or because of their programming, or because of your programming that they mirrored back to you. Because you have to do the inner work, because you have to learn to disassociate with certain personality types, they showed it to you. So the higher we go, the better we become when it comes to be or to practice that compassion, forgiveness in the right way. There's a right way of doing it, and there's a very codependent way of doing it. So codependent way looks like forgiveness, but it's actually not. Looks like compassion, but it's actually not. So part of you was doing all of this to get love from a limerent object or a fantasy that a person created. This is what I meant. So you don't want to feel unworthy because of what they did to you. You don't want to feel unworthy because you've realized that someone or any such person can do whatever to satisfy their ego and destroy the bond you have with them. It didn't matter to this person what you had between you and them. And you see some kind of slyness, conniving behavior, manipulation, and cleverly presented points because they wanted to satisfy their urge, or they wanted to, let's say, get married, or they wanted something out of you. So they did these things. Okay. That's how you see it, that they wanted something from you materialistically. Even getting a commitment from a person like you was not easy in the first place. So they played with your mind, is how you feel. And that's why you don't want to feel unworthy because of such a person. You're angry with this person over here. You feel used by this person. You feel like you should not have accepted their lies. You feel like you thought that they would change or they would be nice to you, but their bad behavior was just so bad, unacceptable behavior. Now you don't wish to dance like a puppet to other people's tunes. You'd rather be God's puppet. You'd rather be, let God be your puppeteer, but not these people anymore. You want to be independent. You chose this life that you have, the life of inner work or life of inner healing, mission work, life which is spiritual. A lot of things come naturally to you, like doing good deeds under Lord's doership. You don't want to be a doer either. And so I'm being shown two formats. One, where you continue the relationship with the same person, and another where you replace the person. Now, you seeing your own pattern also. Earlier, you were insecure of a certain type of person who would take away your man or woman. And now you are insecure of another type of person. Earlier, it was probably someone superior than you. Now it's probably someone inferior than you. And now you realize that this is going to continue if you don't work on yourself. It's always going to be someone you can be insecure of. A very handsome man or a very beautiful woman can go through this. Okay? It's not about looks, it's about energy. Sometimes you feel that this marriage saga that your parents showed you, the banter, the wrongdoings, the revenge, the hatred, the codependency, and then staying with your own enemy under the same roof, it all feels like a crazy mad thing that they labeled as marriage. You feel that one person can be blamed more here because one of them maybe have some kind of addiction pattern that they could have controlled but they did not. But then this is a mirror reflection of your addiction of codependency, your addiction of doing way too much in love relationships and losing your own self, losing your own identity, losing your own level. You level down to their level, maybe in some ways, instead of showing them that, look, you can get inspired from me. Or maybe all of this is happening under God's plan. Because when we learn to surrender, we accept everything as God's plan. Maybe, let's say right now, for those people who are angry and upset, you can think of it like this is showing you and them something that they need to work on together. If they love you, if they want to be with you, but you, because you're here, you're listening to this collective reading, so I'll say forget about the other person. You just focus on yourself and your inner work. Now, the truth is, the reality is that we are all alone here. We just stay in the social construct because it makes us like we belong to some place or to someone. You don't have to live with people with this mindset of a codependent social construct. People can coexist with you and you can disassociate with them. You don't have to have extra patience to go through this again and again because of jealousy, because of insecurity patterns within you as well. Maybe you got it from your mother, maybe you got it from your father. Now, it can be any kind of person who can make you insecure. It can be a villager, it can be a foreigner, it can be a city man or a woman. For how long are you gonna blame the karmics or your divine counterpart? Or your distorted divine counterpart, let's say. If you don't have a loyal, loving person in your life, if you do miss the good times you spent with them, and you miss that man or woman who gave you a very rosy picture and they ruined it, you don't want to continue in that energy that someone else had the control of destroying the relationship, because it is also connected with your value. And never again you want to lose your value because of someone else, especially in the romantic relationship you're in or you've been into. The humiliation, the nonchalant behavior, maybe they're not showing it now, but they did it when you were crying and you were codependent. When you thought that this is a godly person, when you had pedestalized them, and maybe till they were not fully caught about, the whole story was not revealed, they maybe ill treated you as well, thinking that you cannot live without them. They are probably changing or begging for an apology or asking for a chance or an opportunity again for a number of reasons, because you disassociate, because you detached, because you no longer are the same person anymore, but you have to do it even better. Some of you are going through this because your parents were not good providers, protectors, and they did not profess their love enough to you. They usually did the opposite. They were not good providers, they were not professing how much they love you, they were not taking a stand for you, they were not fighting it out for you. So you attracted people who are showing you the same. So you need to forgive your parents, you need to let them go. You need to let that version go of them and of you, who was not claiming you, who were not doing special things for you, who were treating you like just placeholders. Now you don't want to get physically intimate with anyone, maybe. You want intimacy, true intimacy now. You want to remain with yourself. You want to have the courage and strength to believe in the kind of love that is true love. Maybe half of your life has probably gone searching for love, and now you realize that there is no love outside of you. The love that you search within a person outside of you doesn't even exist. And maybe that's why one of your parent decided to continue in the relationship and focus on the children, because they maybe understood that this is something that they need to work through. In some cases, they did it unknowingly, so even more reasons for you to forgive them. Maybe they were not as bold or independent as you can be today. Maybe they didn't have the courage to let go of that victimized version of themselves, but you can grieve for it. And you guys can work with me one on one, because it's not easy to go through this. And some of you twin flames have gone through it, but you're not able to get out of these patterns. You can check out the list of therapies. These are very powerful therapies, and not everyone gets them because therapy is a privilege. And I know it's also a tool that is given to a lot of people. It would be more people than what we have right now. These tools are really divine tools. It's not for everyone because many people cannot even comprehend your situation properly. A lot of psychologists and psychiatrists and some healers, not to say that they're not good, they may be good for other things, but for twin flame journey, for star seeds and light workers, you need to have someone who can comprehend their situation, and then also you as a person are able to comprehend your healer. So check out the description box for therapies and readings. Now, you don't want to care for anyone or love anyone the way you did in the past. And you don't want this person, anyone, at least this version of this person anymore. You cannot tolerate it anymore. You don't feel that unworthy anymore. So, the good thing that has come out from this experience is that your own worthiness has risen above in your own eyes. You're thinking that I am not going to tolerate any of this nonsense, and they can leave me, I can live without them, and I can manage. I will do whatever it takes to become independent, but I'm not going to tolerate this type of behavior. Now, until now, you didn't have this realization that you don't have to look for validation and intimacy from a man or a woman. Until now, you were okay to be the pick me girl or guy. Until now, you were thinking that God sent you this person, so you were tolerating all their bullshit and bad behavior. But now you want them also to show up for you. You want them to show up in the right way for you. You want them to bring out their potential for you. You want them to bring out the healed version of them. But that will only and only happen when you get the right tools to heal you first. Because you've been loving a lot with your heart and soul. You gave everything to the relationships you've been into. You've been loyal and loving. You've shared your feelings, your fears. You've shared your life. You've expressed love. You've professed, provided, and you also protected this person from many issues, big and small, hoping that one day they'll return it back. But they just made it worse every day. More addictions, let's say alcohol, drugs, lies, demanding behavior, not focusing on career, work, and family. Every day it just became bad, or it just was in subtle energies. You were not seeing it, you were letting it go, but now you see it till it broke you down. So, whatever you witnessed was to break you down so that you can grieve and let go of that old version of you. So, you broke down because you have to go through a breakthrough now. Some of you, it's difficult. It's tough because you have to sort out the monetary things. You have to sort out some loans and some bills. You have to sort out your assets, maybe. And for some of you, it's just you have to sort out your career and your routine and your discipline because you really gave up everything for this person. You've not been able to rest properly. You've not been able to get time for yourself. You always felt that you're not good enough, or you're not getting enough work. You're always hand to mouth. So, your relationship is not just your romantic relationship where you feel burdened, it's also other things like your career or your family ties, which reflect the same emptiness back to you. It's like everywhere else, in some way or the other, to some degree, is showing you the same thing. You feel like you never get equal to what you deserve, and you don't know why it's been this way. You're devoted to God, you're doing your inner work, you're a service oriented person. Maybe you don't even have bad habits. There are millions of people who are doing opposite, but their needs are met, you feel. Maybe you need a nice car, you don't want to worry about paying your EMIs or your bills, or you want a nice house, or you want a fancy career. All of those things are also being shown to me. So now you're really confused. What should you focus on? This dynamic, this situation has shattered you so deeply that you're more open towards your own requirements as a person. Now you feel that you were chasing unrealistic standards or unrealistic things in a relationship. Now you want to have a good relationship with your own self first and God. And you want to heal the issues, the wounds that come from your mother or your father or both. You've realized that this is an inner work related problem. It's not an external problem. It's not a physical bodily problem. And that's why you also realize, some of you, that changing the person is not gonna change the situation. Changing yourself is gonna change the situation. You've also been thinking that God has been punishing you for a long time. Now you need to change that also. The dialogue you've had, why me, God, you need to change that. You need to be more thankful. You need to focus on the good stuff. You need to focus on not the woundedness of your life, but the completion, the wholeness. And that's why I've been saying again and again that the only energy that can heal you is source energy. You need to heal your sun and moon energy. You need to heal the divine masculine and divine feminine within you. And that's the reason why, because it's not healed, you're not getting what you deserve. Because you've been focusing on all the useless things. You've been thinking, you've been focusing on all the 3D problems, the 3D worries, the bills, the validation, the approval that comes from the ego domain. The ego also wants to be united with source. The ego is constantly showing you negative energy. And negative energy is really great at creating stories. And you would know this now already practically. Maybe half of these cheating related things, they will not be so important for you after a while when you heal from it, when you find how to heal from it, because you'll realize that's actually for your growth and progress, and whatever happened to the old version of you. It cannot happen to the new, healed, advanced version of you, because that advanced, healed version of you is not depending on other people for validation, for love, for appreciation, for providership, for protection. When you're protected from within, you're protected everywhere. Okay? For some of you, it's like you want to change right now. You don't want anyone to help you out. You want to be your own person. You want to focus on your life. You want to focus on yourself. You want to understand what's the psychological, scientific thing happening within your brain, within your heart and soul. What's the thing you need to do to get in alignment with your energy that comes from all your 8 chakras? You don't want to blame another person. You don't want to blame God. You don't want to blame your family. You don't want to blame your parents. You want to take ownership and you want to change your focus. Some of you could still be emotionally attached to this person, which is okay. You have to accept that side of you as well. You could be still in fear. You could still be feeling bad about certain things. But you don't have to survive on breadcrumbs when you literally have a table full of food. You don't have to be held and cared by a broken person who destroyed you. But you also have to create a positive energy within you. That disgust and disturbance actually comes from within you. Not from that person, but from within you. You need to draw your line, you need to create boundaries, but also you need to forgive and show compassion in the right way. You need to be kind to yourself, you need to be compassionate to yourself, and you also need to check yourself for your own mistakes. Why was a person able to put you in this situation? Or why were you so negative that you were attracting one situation upon other? Why did you not stop thinking about certain things when it happened to you for the first time? Why did you tolerate so much? Why did you? And in some cases, I'm being shown that this is a perfect divine timing, because maybe 2 years back you could not have done it. 6 months back you would not have done it. You understand? You had to go through it right now. This is the right time for you. It's nobody's fault. There's nothing good and bad about it. It's simply to show you that you can be in union with God first. And you have to do that first. External union cannot happen without internal union, and it's time for internal union now. So, on this note, I'm going to close this session. Thank you so much for being here. I am sending out my compassion and my love to all those people who need it right now, but it's coming via God. I'm just a medium, guys. All credit goes to Masters and Source. Everything has been done by Source and Masters. I'm not even a medium, I would say, because this word medium, this word doing service, this also creates a kind of ego. So let me just say that you created me in your reality at the right divine timing under the doership of Lord and Masters. See you in the next one. One love, peace out, and victory to Ram. Don't forget to chant the Ram mantra. Don't forget to work on your solar plexus every day, because that's where the actual magic happens, in your gut, right in your gut. All right? One love, peace out once again.